Hi, this is Jared Polak, founder of Entre Results, author of Entre Balance. Looking forward to another awesome podcast today. The title we're going to look at is When Business Declines, These are four things to do. Now, this is going to be more about the mindset and the attitude. These aren't all specific things to increase business again, but these are things to do that's going to help get us back into the groove of getting things rolling. And I'm going to use myself as an example. Sometimes as a coach, or not sometimes, pretty much all the time, as I coach people and as our coaches coach people and as we go through our own process, it's really powerful because I'm a business owner too. I need to do the same things for myself that I'm doing with the people I coach, and that is one of our core values, is to do basically what we tell others to do. And so here's what we're going to look at, four things. And I recently had just a pretty rough 2 weeks. It was a pretty rough 2 weeks for business specifically, and there was a dip in business recently, and those things happen, but it can oftentimes kind of feel like you get punched in the gut a little bit. So here's four things that I did that really helped, and these are four things that I want to share with you. Number one, I reached out to my business coach. And so similar to how I definitely believe in coaching for many of you who are hearing this, or many of you that have been reading about this on my blogs. Listen, I reached out to my business coach. What business coaching did for me and what it does for everyone is it doesn't allow you to stay in that mental dip too long. You kind of have a little dip mentally, you reach out to your coach, and it really helps get you back on track, doing the things you need to do, getting the mindset in the right place quickly. So not just the business coach is the point number one, but also reach out to your support team. And so your support team, obviously the business coach can be on the support team because there could be many other people that are a part of your support team, maybe another entrepreneur that can understand what you're going through. It can be a variety of different people, but reach out to your support team, number one. Number two, and this is really a skill, and I know I blogged about this and talked about this in other articles at some point, but choose to have bad moments, not bad days. Definitely not bad weeks. So maybe you have a 2 weeks of difficult in business. Well, you're going to have little moments that aren't going to be so good, but choose not to let those drag on. Choose not to let it ruin your whole day. In some ways, what you can do is say, okay, I've gotten bad news. I'm gonna throw a little fit for about 15 minutes. It's gonna be the 15 minutes of me pouting, and then when those 15 minutes are done, it's gonna be a great rest of the day. Oftentimes, you can set a clock, a 15-minute, 30-minute, 2-hour, whatever it needs to take. Some people need to stop and go for a walk or go get some exercise, but when you get back, you're going to choose to have a different attitude. That's point number two. Number three, and this is why holistically, I'm such a holistic person, and so as I look at myself in this situation, I realize that maybe it was a challenging 2 weeks for business, but holistically looking at my life is good. I look at 8 different areas of life. Business is just one. And I'm realizing that, man, my life is rocking in 7 other areas. So to only have one area of life that's been challenged for 2 weeks, it's really not that bad. I mean, my health is great. Good relationships with friends and family members, my spouse. Definitely my faith is strong. I mean, there's a lot of great things that are happening outside of work. And to be honest with you, like, faith is more important and my family is even more important than my business. And those things are working in a good spot. So just look at holistically and realize, and I realize, and maybe you need to realize if you're going through a bad business spurt right now, that, hey, it's really not that bad because other areas of life are working. And the final thing that I looked at, and some of you, especially if you've been in business for a long time, now sometimes if you're just starting out, this doesn't 100% apply to you, but I realize that even though I'm going through a bad spurt in business, the reality is business is still pretty good. Now, emotionally, I might have taken an emotional dip based on a little drop in business, but the reality is, and logically speaking, I mean, I thought back to when I started my business. I guess almost 9 years ago. I mean, my business is great right now compared to then. It's great compared to the way it was 2 years ago. And so sometimes it's good to look back, and even though maybe things are taking a little temporary drop, when I look back at my business as a whole, it is going great. And so think about that for your own business as well, or if you're in sales. Are things better now than they were 2 years ago, a year ago? For me, the answer was absolutely yes. And the other thing to finally kind of think about, which is also part of number 4, is yes, maybe even if you take a business dip, but the reality is, in terms of what I'm doing, I love what I'm doing. I love coaching. I love having a team of coaches that coach. I love having products that help people get better. And so the reality is, I would do this for free if I could. If I didn't have to support my family, I would do this for free. And so the reality is, number 4 is it's not that bad, meaning I'm still doing what I love doing. Even if there was a momentary dip in business, I love what I do. And many of you who are listening to this love what you do. And so just appreciate that you have the opportunity to do what you love doing. Those are the 4 points. I'm sorry to use me as an example, or maybe I'm not, because maybe it's a great example for you guys, but this is real to me. These principles apply to my life, and I encourage you to apply them to your life. Make it a better than amazing day.